Good evening. Welcome to Sound Health on Lagos Television. I am Olasumbo Mudupe. Sound Health airs every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. and we try to enlighten members of the public on trending health issues from around the world. Your body is the only place you have to live. How do we ensure we stay fit as we navigate the year 2026? This is our focus today on sound health. The conversation begins after this break. The program is still Sound Health on Lagos Television. Join us via Zoom to share healthy tips for the year 2026 and beyond. Is Dr. Damilare Shoyemi, a senior registrar with the Family Medicine Department at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Ikeja. Good evening, Dr. Shoyemi, and thanks for joining us.
A very good evening to you, ma'am. Thank you, presenter, for all you do. And Happy New Year to you and everyone watching. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for having me.
The festive season is over and many people are kickstarting the new year on a clean sheet. Tell us, do we need to set new health goals to start the year 2026?
Do you know that setting goals is actually important, as we all know? But our goals must be smart. That means being specific, measurable, something that can be achievable, realistic, and time bound. Very important. But do you know also that working with a system is actually preferable? So coming from 2025 into 2026, the first thing we need to consider is what are the challenges, what are the mistakes that you made as an individual. If you're watching right now, or at any time that you're watching, what are the mistakes that you made in 2025 relating to your health? And then doing this appraisal will help you to be able to make better choices in 2026. So setting goals, very important, but I will add that having a system in place will actually go a long way. So many people coming in towards the end of the year, you know about dirty December, people do a lot of eating without caution. Let's drink, let's eat, let's enjoy ourselves. All the enjoyment that didn't happen from January to November, okay? But there's nothing really bad about enjoyment, celebration, and that's actually healthy. But it's what we choose to celebrate with. How much of the eating and drinking that we do, how much of the activities, what type of activities that we do that actually determine the outcome in January. I must let you know that many people have been found to be diagnosed with chronic medical conditions like hypertension, diabetes, even bad cholesterol, high cholesterol levels around this December, January. Some probably had the background history, family history, but that kind of lifestyle in December, for example, 2025, I don't know how you did your 2025, watching me, did you travel, did you go partying, how many parties did you attend, what did you eat at those places? These are factors that can probably trigger someone that has a background history of maybe pre-diabetes or liver hypertension, background history, family history of hypertension. So such an individual may come into January now, 2026, and discover and be alarmed that, maybe they are finding out that they have elevated blood pressure or their blood sugar is getting high. So it is very important to set goals, whether you have been given a diagnosis right now or you are just healthy, nothing is wrong with you. We need to have goals, and our goals must be smart. Thank you.
Okay, what is one mistake people make when setting this health goal for a new year, maybe for a new season and all that? People make some mistakes. Can you quickly share that with us?
These are the mistakes that you should avoid when setting goals. It's not something that you should turn into a religious activity. People talk about goals for 2026. And so you want to also go in and say, I must have goals for 2026. The first thing is to see the importance of having setting goals and then committing to those goals, and the end result, talking about what is the outcome, what is the output that you want for 2026 by December, what is the status, what kind of health status do you want to have through the year. All right, so this is very important. So the mistakes you should avoid is just group setting of goals, joining groups to set goals, or doing it as a religious routine. Okay, and then I have mentioned, and I need to emphasize once again, that you should allow your goals to be smart. So avoid being non-specific. If you are setting goals, you have to be specific with your goals. Am I planning to lose weight this year? As your doctor advised you to lose weight. So you want to now break it down. Talking about being smart, you want to measure it and say, okay, what has the doctor advised? Am I losing 1 kg per month or 2 kilograms per month? And of course, as you are doing this, you need to get professional support, your doctor, your physiotherapist, even if you are working with your gym instructor, they need to be carried along. So that's talking about measuring it and doing it with specific time. So the next thing is this achievable? For example, we're still talking about weight reduction. It is achievable, it is possible. People have done it and you can do it also using appropriate measures. And next is this reliable. Are they reliable? Yes, they are. Especially using the different measures that have been put in place to ensure that you attain this weight control, weight reduction, for example. Now, do you know that, for example, saying 30 minutes of brisk walking every day, I'm going to be doing that, will go a long way to help you. That's talking about something reliable. Evidence has actually shown that people who exercise is important in even reducing blood pressure. Okay, and of course you have to have proper guidance with your doctor. And then we talk about time bound. Do you want to lose, are you expected to lose this weight within 3 months, within 6 months? And if you don't do anything about it, what risks are associated with being overweight or obese? So avoid the mistake of not being specific, avoid the mistake of not using something that is measurable, not using something that is achievable, reliable, and not being time conscious of what you are doing.
Okay.
So I hope I able to respond.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that prevention, they say, is better than cure, and it is not too late to start now. We are in the second week of the new month. Okay, so quickly share with us basic tips, healthy diets, we can, find around us, because, you also said we need to ensure we have health tips that are achievable. Are there smart diets we can quickly adopt, embrace for this moment?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I want to start with the fact that information is important, and that's what we are doing on Sound Health. You must, for this 2026, you must be open to information and relevant information, to not just general information to your health, but specific. So the first thing is, what is your current health status? And that cannot really be done by yourself. You need to present yourself to a doctor to do proper evaluation. Normal medical checkup is very important at this time, beginning 2026, if you didn't do any towards the end of the year. And so if you are going to really get to achieve your health goals for this year, we must look at the World Health Organization's definition of health. So for you to say you are actually healthy in 2026, you must be fulfilling this, that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So, of course, there's a spirituality side to health. So looking at these different aspects, okay, let's look at the physical, for example. In this age, we talk about the use of devices. Your phone, you can do a lot on your phone right now, wherever you are, seated on your screens, smart screens everywhere. But that shows that there is a lot of physical inactivity going on in many places, irrespective of your location, irrespective of your status. Everyone somewhere, almost everyone has a phone. And the fact is that if you're not intentional about your activity, you will not be achieving your health goals in the physical side. Talking about exercising, for example. Do you know that movement, counting of steps, which many people know, is very important for your heart health, for your circulation, for your joints movement? So if you are going to be having a good physical health, it involves movement. God has not created us to just be in a place seated and doing all things. Your body wants to move, and you must respect that. So 30 minutes of brisk walking every day, moderate intensity exercise at most, or at least 5 days in a week, is recommended. And if you're going to be doing other exercises, there are home exercises that you can do, chair exercises, you can work out, you can go to the gym. Just have the guidance of your doctor and other professionals for your appropriate exercise. Now, there is something called exercise prescription, and you should take note of that. Now, the next thing, I've just talked about physical activity. We will not be able to explore because of the period that we have for this discussion. Now, do you know also that your diet is very vital, important to your health? If you do you know that your food should actually be your first medicine? And that's very important because you are actually what you eat. So for recommendation is that you have a healthy plate. Let your diet be healthy. And what does that mean? That means that you should have 50% of your plate filled with the fruits, the vegetables, the veggies, the greens. And of course, it's important to take protein, take your carbohydrates, but your fruits and vegetables should take 50% of your plate. That is a healthy plate. And then 25% of that plate, talking about a circle, 25% of that plate should include proteins, fish, lean meats, lean protein. These are very important. Eggs. And if you look at the remaining 25%, it's important to definitely do your carbohydrates and starch. That is healthy plate. What about hydration? Most people wait till they are thirsty before they drink water. But for you as an adult, you should note that at least 3 liters of water. Of course, it has very range for females, for males, 2.7, 3, 3.2, 3.5, depending on your losses. Also, you must put that into consideration. So 3 liters of water in 24 hours is what is recommended, and you should be intentional about this. You may need to carry water along with you as you move to different places. Of course, water should be available in many places and for you to be able to drink appropriately. Now, do you know that a lot of people need to reduce, and for many, stop taking many drinks that are actually processed, soda drinks. In fact, if you think you are taking fruits and you blend them a lot, it's good to do smoothies. But do you know that eating your fruits raw is better? This will help you with digestion. It will help you to get fuller earlier, better than when you take your blended fruits. You have the tendency to actually take more when it comes to volumes, in terms of, we call them natural sugars, but by the time you are taking more of these, you may also be positioning yourself to abnormal sugar ranges or range. So you should do your fruits, do your vegetables, do your water. Of course, yogurt is very good. Talking about diet, talking about something that is tasty. I like parfait. Parfait is good. If you do fruit parfait, you have fruits there. Of course, you should do all this with some caution, with some measure in place.
All right.
And always know, you discuss with your doctor.
All right, Dr. Shui, I mean, because of time now,
Thank you.
let's quickly look at this. I'm glad you touched on the fact that you touched the aspect about getting energy. Many people are so busy these days. Parents are busy, students are busy, professionals are busy. They hardly sleep and they require more energy. They rely on so many caffeines out there. I'm glad you touched on that. Okay, so quickly, let us look at so many health wellness noise on the social media. You are looking at intermittent fasting. You are looking at some medications to boost your energy, to boost your immune system. What is the way to go as a physician now, from you to our viewers out there? Briefly.
So many metabolic diseases, chronic medical conditions are actually not just genetic, they are related to individuals' lifestyle, dietary patterns. And of course, talking about westernized diet, talking about intake of processed foods, this puts an individual at risk of inflammation. And inflammation has been confirmed to be responsible for many chronic medical conditions. So this kind of foods, indulging over consumption of processed foods, fast foods, fries, are things that put individuals at risk. Even energy drinks, sodas, these are things that put individuals at risk of many disease conditions. So what should people be doing for energy? Actually, we did a definition of World Health Organization's health on health. Now, that definition also involves mental health. Do you know that your mental status can influence your energy levels? So, what should we be doing? You should ensure that you are mentally stable. And it begins with one, your sleep pattern. Are you having a good sleep hygiene? Do you sleep in the right environment, noiseless, calm? Probably you should be able to put off your lights. Better to sleep in dark environment than in light. So when you do your 6 to 8 hours of
Sleep.
night sleep, your body is able to repair, the cells repair, you are re-energized for the activities of the day. So if you're going to be productive, if you're going to be effective, if you're going to perform better in 2026 at what you do, sleep is not to be negotiated. Okay. And then talking about social environment, you must be able to relate with others. Life is not should not be lived in isolation, and you must understand the positive energies around you and relate and connect with them. You must be able to socialize, and socialization is key to your mental health. And talking about social health, do you know that the social media is a place where people's health are at risk? So you should be careful what you watch. You should be careful about the things that you listen to. So there are some people that can handle some of these things in measures, but there are times that people suffer from acute stress disorders, post-traumatic stress disorders, from events that they experienced themselves or watched. And then there are other people that develop anxiety, depression from hearing certain news. So you have to be careful how much news, negative news that you allow in yourself. So you need to take note of this when it comes to putting measures for your energy. And then talking about energy, we talk about diet, we talk about physical activity, which are very important. Then you should avoid things like alcohol, smoking. These are things that reduces individual's energy. They affect organs in the body in negative manner and can cause diseases that may become chronic and then may develop complications that we don't want to be talking about. Thank
Okay,
you.
Dr. Shoemi, I'm afraid this is how far we can go on this particular edition. I hope to bring you back to discuss more about healthy tips for the year 2026 and beyond. Thank you so much for your time and expertise on sound health.
You're welcome.
All right, I have been speaking with Dr. Damilare Shoyemi, a senior registrar with the Family Medicine Department at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, Ikeja. Sound Health continues with trending health report from around the world. Please stay tuned. we say thank you on today's episode of Sound Health. Remember, you are actually what you eat. However, being intentional will keep you fit throughout year 2026. You need to embrace good sleep hygiene, healthy diet, as well as positive energy. For comments and inquiries, or you have topics you'd like us to treat, please send SMS to 0035826603 or follow us on social media at Lagos Television, #Sound Health. A sound health is a sound mind. Make health.